How's it going, everyone? This is the second video. What we're going to do is, as it says in the description there, we're going to look at the Polycount and performance-wise. So what we're going to do is, as you can see here, we've got your two characters. You've got your mannequin at this stage, and you've got your seated player. Now what you want to do is, I'll show you how. See, he's got 78,000 triangles, and you can see the density of his wireframe. It's a fair bit for VR. So if you've got you got to look at this when you're looking at developing for VR. You need to have a low poly count, because don't forget you're going to have a lot of other stuff in the scene, and it's got to be rendered twice, one for each eye. Now you're thinking, well, why not just enable, where is it, rendering? Why not just enable instant stereo rendering? As you can see here, I haven't even enabled it yet, because my thoughts on this is the fact that you don't want to be relying on this straight away. Even though, yeah, you want to enable it, but you don't want to be enabling this straight away, because what you want to do is you'd want to try and do as much as you can, and try and optimize your scene even before you add this, because what this does is just it helps with the rendering, but in my opinion, you don't want to enable that straight away. Some people might, but in my opinion, you shouldn't enable it straight away. What you want to do is you want to try and get your scene the best performance you can get before enabling it. So what we're going to do is, as I said, we're going to look at the poly counts of what we've already got so far. So we've got this character being seated. As you can see here, as I said, it's got 78,000 triangles. The other thing you want to look at is the seat that he's on. You can see here we've got 3,000 triangles. So straight away we've got around about 81,000 triangles. That's a lot of triangles to render in the scene. I'll turn this to wireframe so you can see it. That is a lot to render, even though, yeah, you might not be looking at it, you're going to be looking down now and again. And if depending on what type of seat you're using, you might want to have something where the guy's sitting down but he's reclined out, where his legs are sitting out further or something like that. So he's got his legs that will also be in his view to help with the planting the player in the scene, and that's so he doesn't get motion sickness in VR. So what you want to do is, at this stage, even though we've imported it in, you might want to get a character and maybe do it in Mixamo, just get one of their characters, or get Fuse and do a character in that. Even though those characters are still going to be high polyed. So what you want to do is you want to send them to go to Mixamo Decimator, and you want to decimate it down. So upload your file and your resolution or reduction. 100 is 100% of your polys. It's the initial polys, and not 100% of how much you want it decimated. So 100% is your standard wireframe. You don't want to go any less than 20. In my opinion, 25 is okay, but 20, any less than 20, and yeah, your mesh isn't recognizable. So that's what you want to do, and you want to do that also for your character you're going to be using, and that. The other thing too is you don't have to just do characters. This also helps with normal meshes, as I'll show you. So what I done was I got the chair and I sent a decimator, decimated down to 25%. And straight away you can see here the triangle count is down to 770. That's a lot. So even if we used this character here, as I said, it's 78,900. So if you added that seed in with it, straight away you're down to around about 79,000. It's still a lot of triangles, a lot of polys it's got to render. So what I did was I didn't send the one that I'm doing first before I do this video. What I did was I went into my 3ds Max program, modeling program, and I just deleted a whole heap of polys that's unneeded. As you can see here, it's down to 922. I said I can probably send this to Decimator and get it down to even less. But at this stage, what I wanted to do was I wanted to keep the curves and the seats. As you'll probably see here, it's probably still there, but it's, as you can see, it's angulated, and that's so it's up to you on how you want it to look, in my opinion. The other good thing about Decimator is, as you can see here, some of the mesh, as you said, it's the texture-wise, it's not going to be seen because it's in front of the behind the camera. You won't see that. That's another reason why you would see on here, I've deleted all the polys behind it. So you won't be looking at the side here, at the side there or the back, and you won't see anything underneath. So you won't see any of this here or anything that's underneath. You're not rendering them, but you're not going to be seeing them either. So there's no point putting them in the scene there, and it's just a lot easier just to delete it. It also helps with once you package a game, you've got an asset that's not very high polyed, and so it will help with size wise. Now the other thing you want to do is, what I'm going to do right now is we're going to change this character, this one here. We're going to change it to the mannequin, because if you have a look at the mannequin, and the mannequin's still pretty high. Got to put a fair few triangles here. See this 4,100, sorry, 41,000 triangles. That's still a lot. Basically, you want to get your character that you're going to be using around about 7,000 to 5,000, between 5,000 and 7,000. This is a character that I've got, which is, if you have a look at it, it's just the magic guy that's from Mixamo website. I just imported him into Max. I got the hair from Mixamo Fuse and just imported into Max, and then just deleted the stuff I didn't want, like the hat and the hair, and then just put the hair on top. Then I sent it to Decimator, got it decimated down. It says decimated down to 7,800. So as you can see here, even though it's 7,800, it still looks nice and clean. There's no really hard edges on him. See on the wider frame here, and this will help with the frame rate. Because don't forget too, you're going to be having heaps of stuff in the scene. Like if you have it in a town or in a city, if you're doing a first-person shooter, or if you're doing an open world, you're going to have a fair bit in the scene, especially in VR, and it's got to render that not just in one eye, but for both eyes. So you got to look at try and optimize your as much as you can before you set it to instant stereo rendering. So what you want to do is go to I'll go here. What you want to do is select the character, and then you want to right click on it retarget animations and go retarget. Select the mannequin and then change where you want it to go to. As you can see here, the folder it's going to go to. What I did was, this is the second time I've run this video. So what I did was created a seated folder. Animations, you can see here seated. I just created a folder, and then when I retargeted it, it put the animations in here. So what you do then is you go to the mannequin, mesh, get the mesh, get the seated guy, put that in, and then what you want to do then is use animation and then select idle B. So it will have none. Go clear. So you'll say none, and then what you want to do is you want to go down to type in idle. Right. I renamed it to mannequin idle B in here. You can see here mannequin idle B. Just renamed it. So then you will then seat down. As you saw the last video where we did a blueprint, I was told it'd be a lot better just to do it this way, where you just go use animation asset and then set animation to idle, whatever the seated idle is. You don't have to worry about doing the blueprint then. As you can see here, he's now sitting right. So straight away we've almost halved the triangle count for the scene. So now we've got to do the seat. Now the seat here is exactly the same thing as you can do with the character with decimator. You can also upload your mesh, as you can see here. As I showed before, this one here has been decimated already. As I said, like this one here is 794, or sorry, 774, and that's so what we'll do is we'll select that. The seat, we'll change it. Oh, I didn't move it when I brought it back from Decimator. You might have to go back into your 3ds Max or into your modeling program and reset your 0 point. So what we'll do is I'll put in my other one. Right. So you can see here, this one here, as I said, it was 922. So we got the skeleton, which is 41,000, and now I've just added 900. So now we're up to 41,900. But if you had a character, which is down to around about, as I said, about 5,000, 4,000, 5,000. If you can get one even lower, because you don't need the head. So basically all you need is the body. And that's you can probably get it down as low as you can. If you're able to do a model which gets the character and the seat in one, so you don't have to worry about rigging it up, even better. So then that will then help with the frame rates. So now we've already colored a whole heap of polys, and this now what we'll do here is we'll go to one that I've decimated already for a character. I don't have any animations for it. And It's really large because I imported it into 3ds Max. So I'll scale it down. Right. And there we are. We'll give it a play. As you can see here, because I'm also what do you say, streaming. It's still pretty good. Only problem is as you can see, it's a little bit slow on some of the stuff because as I said, I'm streaming, so it's getting the screen capture and all that. So, but I tested this before recording, and it's getting a solid 75 frames. But what we'll do is type in stat FPS. As you can see here, well, even though I'm recording, I'm getting 30 frames, and that's so. But without recording, and that I'm getting a solid 75 because I'm using a DK2. And my computer that I'm using at the moment, I've got an EVGA 970 super clocked, and I just upgraded my CPU and my motherboard and memory. I just got a 6700 with 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4. So I've got a Z170 motherboard, and that. So at this stage, you can see here, I'm getting 30 frames. It is chugging a little bit, but as I said, I'm live streaming at the moment, so it's struggling at this stage. As I said, when I'm not live streaming it, I'm getting a solid 70, 75 frames. So just see how you go with yours. You should then always test it to see what your frame rate is, and if you're struggling, you'll know exactly when you are struggling, because if whatever comes in scene, as soon as it comes into the scene and you see it start chugging along, then you know, okay, that there it's got too many polys in it, and you'll have to work out either cut the poly count down somewhere in the item that's just come into the scene, or see how you go turning it into maybe an instant static mesh, and that to try and lower the frame rate. So help increase in frame rate. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you the next one.